Back again with another video. So in this video I will be speaking about or explaining what do I think about these quote unquote new Black Panther groups that's been emerging across the country for the most part, in short. So here we go. Let's break it down. Well, first and foremost, I certainly have no qualm or quarrel with any person or persons who wants to fight back against injustice or racism or whatever. It's something that Huey said, or that the party have, called the right to initiative, meaning the new blood have the right to the initiative to keep pushing the line, so to speak, if they're doing it right. And this is what I want to get into. Now, keep in mind what the question is. I'm answering about what do I think about new Black Panther Party movements. Not new movements. I said Black Panther Party movements. Meaning these are derivatives of the Black Panther Party. And I say that to say because, well, traditionally the party, of course, in its heyday, had an issue with pseudo movements created by the FBI or them peoples to clash against the party. But in this case, I'm not necessarily speaking on pseudo movements or known pseudo movements. I'm just typically speaking on other people out there that want to form their version of the Black Panther Party. So let me break it down. There's a thing, just like the movie Coming to America. You got McDonald's and you got McDowell's. So that's the difference. The Black Panther Party is McDonald's, the real thing. Anything else is McDowell's. Now, the difference will be, see, the Black Panther Party has a 10-point platform. Now, any other groups, and it's no slight on any of those groups, but again, you're calling yourself Black Panther Party, so it has to be a 10-point platform. It can't be a 9-point, can't be 11, can't be a 12, can't be a 20. It has to be the 10. Because if, in fact, you're actually duplicating or resurrecting or taking the right to initiative to further push the ideals and goals of the party, then you got to do it just like them. And I'm going to put a disclaimer minus the mistakes, as I'll speak about later. But you get what I mean. So by you changing it, and it's no harm, you may be like, well, it's a different time, so we're going to add this. Nah, those core 10-point platforms address everything. It addressed everything that was going on in the 60s, as well as it addressed everything that's going on now. So there's no need to tamper with it, for one. So that's the difference. And I will add, I'm going to keep re-emphasizing, I didn't say other movements, I said Black Panther Party like movements. So, and these are for these new groups that's claiming Black Panther and they want to put a twist on it. Nah, don't call yourself Black Panthers. Quit wearing a uniform. And this is where the word provocateurism come into play. Now, provocateurism is kind of like a word for informant or agent, because you got agent provocateurism, where you an actual agent working for an agency, one of them alphabet letters or whatever. But then you can have provocateurism coming from a place that ain't coming from them peoples. You can just be somebody that's trying to twist it or trying to put your version of it. Nah, that's provocateurism. No, keep it the way it is. And this is where the party pushed political education so you would know what you was doing. It ain't about just going out saying F the police or F any group or F the man. Nah. It's a little bit more detailed than that. And this is where the political education came into play. And this is where you will realize, well, was no need for me to switch it up or create a different point platform. No, that ain't where we need to adjust that. You understand? See, we need to understand that there's no need to go all the way back to the starting line. We pick up where they fail. It's just like a relay race. You pick up and keep going, minus the mistakes. You understand? And that's where the party showed us the mistakes that was made and how you gonna get attacked. So this is what I gotta say about these new movements, because and it's a thin line between provocateurism, because we certainly know back in the day them peoples created false movements, some to act just like the Panthers. They had fake Black Panther Party chapters. So who's to say they still ain't got them right now? And the rule of thumb to tell the difference is you look at their platform and what they doing. Or they got programs, or they addressing the need of the people, or it is just a bunch of rhetoric, anti-inflammatory rhetoric to instigate. Now, there's a different thing between going out there and raising consciousness and pointing the finger and standing up to the more flagrant abuses of our people. But at the same time, you definitely got to be watched with a keen eye, because there's a thin line between you really meaning well and you being a provocateur or revolutionary suicide. And this goes to all groups abroad, because me being in the Bay Area, this is kind of home base, so I get it. I'm cut from the cloth, so I can really hear things and get told by the horse's mouth. And this is not to say not just out here in Oakland, because again, the party, we was abroad, so you got the real deal all over. But I'm speaking as far as these new groups out here, wherever you at, because I hear about them, some of them pop up, and you always had the new Black Panther Party that's been around for a minute. And I remember back in the day there was some controversy, and I have no gripe with anybody want to speak out against injustice, but you got McDonald's and you got McDowell's. You understand? So for the people out there to know the difference, you look at that platform and you look at what they actually doing. So, and I'm going to reemphasize, there's definitely a time and place to move in a certain position, especially when we addressing the more flagrant abuses against our people, as I'll put it. But in this day and age, because it's all about information and misinformation, it wouldn't surprise me if one of these new Panther movements that's springing up around the country is on some provocateurism, and dare I say agent provocateurism. Because again, you got some brothers and sisters that want to get into this, and this is where your intent is. Some people want to get into this for different reasons, for power, kind of like on some cult type stuff, and then want to twist it up. But no. And this is where the party, this ain't no religious based movement. Don't bring that religion stuff in here. You understand? And then we ain't anti-religion, but we know religion to this degree have no bearing when it comes to the economic and political issues we dealing with, as far as, all people. So that's what I mean. And these are things to look out for when it comes to the real to the fake. So the party didn't emphasize religion. It ain't the fact that they were atheists, an atheist movement. It wasn't even about that. But the focus wasn't on religion. And the focus wasn't even on cultural nationalism. And this is where some people have a issue with the party, because the party didn't push the African culture. Well, for one, the party, and I said this before, the party definitely understood we come from Africa originally in the 10-point platform. We fighting for the freedom and the oppression against black and oppressed people. So we understood, and we know the word black, we do, it's just a contemporary word. We understand all that. But also, at the same time, you had them peoples making provocateur groups, and they pushed like that Kwanzaa movement. I suggest y'all watch that video that was pushing the African culture to sway the people. So we had to deal with that. So Huey was kind of like, well, okay, it's cool, but that's not addressing getting off the plantation. Just because you wearing the dashiki and you speaking some Swahili, and even if you beating your drum, but if you ain't addressing getting off the plantation, come on now, what good is that? So that's where the party was at that moment. And that's where they stood. That's why they didn't too much push the whole African thing, because the emphasis was on economics and politics, just like it is now. Ain't that what everybody talking about, voting and arguing and snap and all that, just like it is now? You understand? So let this be a lesson to anybody out there that got any ideas of resurrecting or making your version or a chapter, whatever you want to call it, of the Black Panther Party. For one, it is not a racist skinhead organization or a black supremacist group. And this is where the reading, before you even attempt to call yourself part of that, get some political education, read some books. You understand what the people fought for and how they fought and what it really means to fight. You know, for real, especially in this day and age moving forward, because a lot of things is going to keep happening. It's just rinse and repeat, whether it be another war, some more oppression or whatever, and the people going to be forced to have to come together and come with something. But at the same time, you're going to have to worry about the agent provocateurs trying to sway y'all. And a lot of times, it's usually the one doing all that talking and less doing. So just keep an eye out for that, you know. And again, it's a time and place for everything. Sometimes it's a time to, as I mentioned, this is my third time mentioning it, when it comes to the certain flagrant abuses that, oh yeah, something need to be done instantly right then and there. And I'm not talking about no damn riot or no rally or whatever. But that's a different story. And no, I'm not the ultimate super Negro, but I know the difference, and this is what this video is about. So if you got any questions, leave a comment, and I hope I made myself clear when it comes to this whole Black Panther Party and the difference between taking the right to initiative, because you got to do it right. You can't just, the party, we need to step up, especially when you're calling yourself the Black Panther Party. Call yourself something else. Don't wear them uniforms. Call yourself anything. But when you start calling it the party or whatever, that's McDonald's. Don't be McDowell's. Be McDonald's. Do it right. You know what I'm saying? Minus the mistakes. But all that switching up, now I know you want to put your twist. Of course, you want to adjust it. That was the 60s and all that. You may want to add some drip to it. But when I'm talking about that doctrine, you know, and learn the difference between them isms and what the party really stood for. And don't get twisted, because even when you doing a lot of that PE education, you'll get it twisted on what the party really stood for, especially when it comes to that their politics. You understand? But I think I said enough for now. Bad News Brown, breaking it down. Town B is what it is, man. Can't stop, won't stop. All power to the people, whatever you want to call it. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and I'll be back.